explosion happened at the Loy-Lange Box Company, and as we've been reporting, a boiler blew through the roof and then went through the roof of Faultless Linen, which is right next door. Now, if you're familiar at all with the Soulard area, it's here at 7th and Russell. There's a Phillips 66 right across the street, and then on the other corner is the St. Louis Bread Company. Employees at the Phillips 66 tell me that they heard the explosion and wondered what was going on before a long emergency crews started to pour in, and that's when they heard that there was an explosion. There was one fatality and several injuries. Traffic is still moving on 7th, and it is moving on Russell west of the explosion. It is shut down here on 7th Street, east of Russell Street. Again, several emergency crews are on the scene. We are setting up a news conference with emergency officials here shortly, so we'll know more in just a few minutes. But for now, still very busy and hectic here on the scene. Lots of emergency workers asking people to, of course, give them space to do their work. McGraw?
Okay, Jessica, so you're on 7th and Russell. Where was the building that exploded? Where was that building?
On 7th Street, 7th and Broadway. So just right behind Russell Street, just east of Russell Street.
Right, okay, because because 7th Street and Broadway sort of split there. Broadway is, I guess, one block closer to the river. Now,
yes.
You mentioned that there was one explosion, but it seems like there's been damage in other buildings. Can you tell us the damage on the original building and some of the other buildings?
You know, here at the ground level, I cannot see. Now, apparently, the news choppers in the sky are showing footage of the holes that were blown in the roofs of the buildings that are affected. So what we're hearing is that a boiler shot through the roof of the Loy-Lange Box Company and then dropped into the roof of Faultless Linen, which is, is a pretty good stone's throw, to be honest. It's not like it's exactly bunted up next to that same building. And aside from that, like I said, we'll be speaking with officials here momentarily and hopefully find out some more details. Here from the ground, there's really not much to see.
Right.
It looks like all of the damage is viewable from above.
Sure. Do we know when this explosion happened?
Just before 8 o'clock is what the employee at the Phillips 66 told me. She said that she heard the explosion right before 8 o'clock, and so that she immediately messaged her coworkers who were due in at 8 to let them know that there was something going on.
Yeah, and as of right now, reports are one person has been killed in what they're calling now a boiler explosion in this 7th and Broadway, which is one block closer to the river. I guess that would be right east of 7th and Russell.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, so we're hearing one fatality and several injuries. And that's really all we know now. And as I said, authorities do have the street blocked off here at 7th and Russell. So anything east of Russell on 7th, as of right now, is inaccessible.
Right. There's that Dollar Tree you mentioned. There's a St. Louis Bread Co. in those newer buildings all right there. 7th and Russell shut down in Soulard after looks like a boiler exploded. One person killed. We'll have more throughout the morning. Jessica, thanks for checking in.
Okay.
You got
Talk
it.
to you soon.
Jessica
Bye-bye.
Machetta from KTRS Newsroom out there in Soulard following the story.